So would you say Asia is one of your most important and successful market as opposed to the
No,
others?
no. At the moment, it's still the United States and the countries around Russia,
Uh-huh.
which includes Europe. So for us, there's still quite a potential to explore in Asia.
Which brands do you see today are some of the true Swiss heritage brands in your opinion? Some of, apart from Ulysse Nardin, who would you say are some of the true
I
Swiss
think it would
heritage?
be wrong for me to mention here a few names. I really hate to do that. So no, I mean there are many. Let's put it this way. We are really not
Let's
alone. There are
say,
many.
what are some of the most fascinating brands that you can appreciate today?
I think if you really look at fascinating, and this doesn't mean now my taste or what I believe in these brands, but if you look at a brand like Rolex,
Mhm.
it's probably a brand everybody looks up to
Right.
in some way. There's no doubt that anybody who is in the industry at some time, at some stage,
Mhm.
in the career or in what they do, look at that brand and look how they do things.
Right.
And that's probably the only brand I would mention here. But that is something which is fascinating. And probably you can ask many people, what are they doing right? And you will get a lot of answers, different answers, but they do things right.
But in terms of complications, in terms of masterpieces, novelty pieces, which brand do you think is very interesting out there today?
I think again I wouldn't mention anybody here. There's so many watchmakers,
Right.
I would call it, and I wouldn't even call it a brand, who do fascinating things.
Right.
And some they go out, they commercialize it a bit more, or they go with a brand, I would call it. But there are many, many, and if I would mention a few names, I wouldn't do justice to the ones I don't mention because there are many. There are really fascinating artists out there.
Absolutely. Um, how many countries and how many boutiques does UN have today?
Okay, I don't know how many countries, I don't know it off by heart, but we are now at 20 boutiques.
20
So
boutiques.
we have 20 boutiques, and the one which we just opened in a soft opening was in Istanbul, 4 weeks back. The grand opening hasn't taken place yet, and at the moment we're at 20. Yeah.
Congratulations for your new location. The current market, um, does it? Is there any challenges that you face with movements or its parts? Even though you mentioned that you 50% of it is already all in house. There's been quite a few strong discussions and challenges with movements and parts sourcing and whatnot. Does that pose a challenge for you at all?
No, I mean we are one of the lucky players there, and the reason for it is we tackled the situation, or we saw the situation coming beginning of the 2000 2001.
Mhm.
We built our manufacturer. That manufacturer is now really built, and we have a real vertical integration.
Mhm.
What sets us apart is that we can even produce our escapement from A to Z, which means even the balance wheel and even the hairspring. We produce now our hairsprings ourselves
Wow.
with silicium. So you can have control over the whole movement, but if you cannot control the hairspring,
Mhm.
that tiny, tiny part, or the escapement, you're missing an important part, if not the most important part of the movement. And we control that ourselves. So we are truly independent there in a very lucky position.
You've seen a new trend in the market now for smartwatch. What do you think about the smartwatches? There's also been a little bit of a debate and questions about, smartwatches might, affect the luxury market or the fine Swiss watchmaking and whatnot. What's your opinion about that?
I don't know how it's going to affect certain markets in the watch industry. I don't know what the effect could be on certain price ranges in the watch industry. But when it comes to luxury, when it comes to mechanical watches, when it comes to a lifestyle, the whole group of timepieces where Ulysse Nardin belongs to, I really don't see an impact there. I think today, if somebody wants to read the time, the youngsters today, and they want to read the correct time, and they don't appreciate a mechanical timepiece which has a soul, they take today their cell phone anyway.
Right.
So instead of using the cell phone here, they might just use it on their wrist.
Right.
But I think it will not have an effect on the luxury, because luxury is a lifestyle, it's a timepiece with a soul.
Absolutely. I believe so, but I've just observed a lot of debate on it. You have Ulysse Nardin has sponsored the Monaco boat show that's coming up. Is this a sponsorship that is in particular for a certain yacht manufacturer? Or is this as in a whole for the entire boat
No,
show?
it's a whole for the entire Monaco boat show. And as I said before, when we do things, it is based on history. If it's the
Right.
product or the communication. If I look at the Monaco Yacht Show, where we are the main sponsor, that really is again very historical for us. So it fits perfectly with our history and perfectly with our timepieces and perfectly with the demographics of
Right.
our customers.
Right. What is your latest brand partnership coming up? Like you have done quite a few. Um, uh, Apart from the Monaco boat show, what else do you have planned that's coming up that's more exciting?
There are many things coming up.
I'm
I
sure.
mean, the first next big event is going to be the opening of the Istanbul boutique. That's a
The
major
launch. Yeah.
matter for us. The next one after that is going to be a big event with Ludwig Oxing in Japan. So there are many things coming up in terms of partnerships. Of course, I couldn't tell you more what we're working on right now. But with that being said, we're not a brand which is out there with sponsorships of ambassadors. That's not really the way we do it. We think that our best ambassador is our product.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, what is the focus for Ulysse Nardin apart from complications? What's the focus on your regular collection for timepieces?
It's really to turn them now, whatever we did in the past, which was not 100% in-house when it comes to movements, that we can do that in-house. And the caliber 118 and now the caliber 334 was key for that.
Excellent. What is going to be the goal for Ulysse Nardin covering the markets that you have currently?
It's actually it's keeping the innovation going,
Hmm.
innovation on the one side, and the independence in the manufacture of our own movements. That's really that's key for us. That is really the um, what we build our product and whatever we do on.
And do you foresee your boutiques growing further, like enhancing across the board in your markets or more dealerships?
Yeah, we see a certain growth still there. We see certain potentials where we will have additional boutiques again. But this is not something which we are driving with an enormous force. We take it where we see the opportunity, and we seize the opportunity when one comes up. Let's put it this way. So
Excellent.
at the moment, it's Istanbul, and the others which are on the horizon. It's not an urgency there.
Excellent. I think that sums up pretty much all my questions for now
Okay,
until the
good.
next one. But I'd like to take the opportunity on behalf of Uber Luxury to thank you for your time and for extending us the time to have this little conversation.
Sure.
Hopefully, we have the opportunity to interview you on the further newest inventions that's about to come for 2015.
Very, very good. And for me, it was a pleasure to see you.
Much,
Thank you.
Patrick.
Okay.
Thank you.